Download this code from codegive.com, link in the description below. OK, let's dive into a comprehensive tutorial on the urllib library in Python. Urllib is a built-in module in Python that allows you to interact with web resources, like websites, APIs, and files on servers, using URLs. It provides a higher-level interface for performing HTTP requests, handling data, and managing URLs. We'll break down the core parts of urllib, show you practical examples, and explain best practices. Table of Contents. 1. Introduction to urllib. 2. urllib.request module, fetching web resources. Asterisk simple requests, urlopen. Asterisk handling errors, URL error, HTTP error. Asterisk adding headers to requests. Asterisk making post requests, sending data. Asterisk working with contexts, SSL/TLS. 3. urllib.parse module, working with URLs. Asterisk parsing URLs, urlparse, urlsplit. Asterisk constructing URLs, urlunparse, urlunsplit. Asterisk URL encoding and decoding, quote, quote underscore plus, unquote, unquote underscore plus. Asterisk joining URLs, urljoin. 4. urllib.error module, exception handling. Asterisk URL error. Asterisk HTTP error. 5. urllib.robotparser module, robot exclusion. Asterisk checking robots.txt. 6. Practical examples. Asterisk downloading an image from a URL. Asterisk scraping data from a website. Asterisk working with a REST API. 7. Best practices and considerations. 8. Advanced topics, cookies, proxies. 9. Conclusion. 1. Introduction to urllib. Urllib is a collection of modules that provide a high-level interface for working with URLs. It's divided into several sub-modules. Asterisk urllib.request asterisk for opening and reading URLs. This is the main module for making HTTP requests. Asterisk urllib.parse asterisk for parsing URLs into components, scheme, netlock, path, parameters, query, fragment, and manipulating URLs. Asterisk urllib.error asterisk defines the exception classes raised by urllib.request. Asterisk urllib.robotparser asterisk for parsing robots.txt files, which specify which parts of a website crawlers are allowed to access. 2. urllib.request module, fetching web resources. The urllib.request module is the heart of urllib when it comes to fetching data from the web. 2.1 Simple requests, urlopen. The simplest way to fetch the content of a URL is to use the urlopen function. Explanation asterisk. 1. Import urllib.request asterisk imports the necessary module. 2. urllib.request.urlopen, URL, asterisk opens the URL specified and returns a response object, similar to a file-like object. 3. Response.read, asterisk reads the entire content of the response as bytes. 4. Response.decode, UTF-8, asterisk decodes the bytes into a string. The most common encoding for web pages is UTF-8, but you may need to use a different encoding if the server specifies one. You can usually find the encoding in the content type header of the response, see below. 5. Response.close, asterisk closes the connection. It's good practice to always close the response to release resources. You can also use a with statement to ensure the response is closed automatically, see example further down. 6. Error handling asterisk the try, except block handles potential errors like URL error, if the URL is invalid or cannot be reached, and other exceptions. Getting response headers. You can access the response headers using response.headers. Using with to automatically close the response. A cleaner way to handle the response and ensure it's closed is using the with statement. 2.2 Handling errors, URL error, HTTP error. urllib.error defines the exceptions that can be raised when using urllib.request. *URL error *, a base class for exceptions related to URL issues, example invalid URL, network connection problems. *HTTP error * raised when the HTTP server returns an error status code, example 404 not found, 500 internal server error. HTTP error is a subclass of URL error. 2.3 Adding headers to requests. Sometimes, you need to add custom headers to your HTTP requests. This is often required when interacting with APIs or websites that expect certain headers, example user agent, authorization. You can do this using the urllib.request object. Explanation *. 1 urllib.request URL, headers equals headers, * creates a request object. The URL is the URL you want to fetch, and headers is a dictionary of headers to include in the request. 2 The urlopen function is then called with the request object instead of a plain URL. Why is user agent important? Many websites block or rate limit requests that don't have a valid user agent header. This is because they want to distinguish between legitimate users browsing with a browser and automated bots/scripts. Setting a user agent that resembles a common browser often helps avoid being blocked. 2.4 Making post requests, sending data. To send data to a server using the post method, you need to encode the data and include it in the request. Explanation *. 1 urllib.parse urlencode, data, * encodes the dictionary data into a URL encoded string, example name equals John plus Doe and age equals 30 and city equals New plus York. 2. Encode, UTF-8, * converts the URL encoded string into bytes. 3. urllib.request URL, data equals data underscore encoded, method equals post, * creates a request object with the URL, the encoded data, and specifies the HTTP method as post. If you do not specify the method, it will default to get for urlopen. 4. The data encoded is passed to the urlopen function. 2.5 Working with contexts, SSL/TLS. When making requests to HTTPS URLs, you might encounter SSL certificate verification errors. This happens when the server's certificate is not trusted by your system, example self-signed certificates. You can control SSL verification using a SSL.SSL context. Explanation *. *SSL.create_default_context, * creates a default SSL context that uses the system's trusted certificates. This is generally the preferred option. *Cafile equals /path/to/your/certificate.pem * if you need to trust a specific certificate, example a self-signed certificate, you can specify the path to the certificate file using the cafile parameter. *urllib.request.urlopen, URL, context equals context, * passes the SSL context to urlopen. Important security note: * disabling SSL verification, SSL_create_unverified_context, should only be done in controlled testing environments and is highly discouraged in production. It exposes your application to man-in-the-middle attacks. 3. urllib.parse module, working with URLs. The urllib.parse module provides tools for parsing, constructing, and manipulating URLs. 3.1 Parsing URLs, urlparse, urlsplit. Urlparse and urlsplit break down a URL into its components. The main difference is that urlparse splits the params from the path, while urlsplit leaves them combined. Output 3.2 Constructing URLs, urlunparse, urlunsplit. Urlunparse and urlunsplit do the opposite of urlparse and urlsplit, they combine URL components back into a full URL string. 3.3 URL encoding and decoding, quote, quote underscore plus, unquote, unquote underscore plus. URLs cannot contain certain characters, example spaces, special symbols. These characters need to be encoded using %encoding, example space becomes %20. Asterisk quote, string, safe equals slash, asterisk encodes special characters in a string for use in a URL path. The safe argument specifies characters that should not be encoded, the default is slash. Asterisk quote underscore plus, string, safe equals, asterisk similar to quote, but it also replaces spaces with plus signs, plus, which is the standard encoding for spaces in query strings. Asterisk unquote, string, asterisk decodes a %encoded string. Asterisk unquote underscore plus, string, asterisk decodes a %encoded string, also replacing plus signs with spaces. 3.4 Joining URLs, urljoin. Urljoin constructs a full URL by combining a base URL with the relative URL. 4. urllib.error module, exception handling. We covered urllib.error in section 2.2 when fetching web resources. It contains the exception classes urlerror and httperror. Remember to handle these exceptions to gracefully deal with errors during URL operations. 5. urllib.robotparser module, robot exclusion. The urllib.robotparser module is used to parse robots.txt files. Robots.txt is a file that website owners use to tell web crawlers, bots, which parts of their site they should not access. Checking robots.txt. Explanation asterisk. 1 urllib.robotparser.robotfileparser, asterisk creates a robot file parser object. 2 rp.set_url, url, asterisk sets the URL of the robots.txt file. 3 rp.read, asterisk reads and parses the robots.txt file. 4 rp.can_fetch, user_agent, URL, asterisk checks if a crawler with the specified user_agent is allowed to access the given URL. Important asterisk respect robots.txt rules. Ethical web scraping requires adhering to these rules. Ignoring them can lead to your IP being blocked or even legal issues. 6. Practical examples. 6.1 Downloading an image from a URL. Explanation asterisk. Asterisk urllib.request.urlretrieve, URL, file name, asterisk downloads the content of the URL and saves it to the file specified by file name. 6.2 Scraping data from a website. This example demonstrates basic web scraping using urllib. Note that for more complex scraping, consider using libraries like Beautiful Soup and Scrapy. Explanation asterisk. 1. We fetch the HTML content of the website. 2. We use a regular expression, refindle, to search for email addresses within the HTML. This is a simple example, more sophisticated techniques are needed for real-world scraping. 6.3 Working with a REST API. This example shows how to interact with a simple REST API, in this case, the public JSON placeholder API, https://jsonplaceholder.tipicode.com. Explanation asterisk. 1. We fetch data from the API endpoint. 2. We parse the JSON data using JSON.loads. 3. We access the data using dictionary style access, example toto_item title. 7. Best practices and considerations. Error handling. Always handle potential URL error and HTTP error exceptions. Respect robots.txt. Adhere to the rules specified in robots.txt when scraping websites. User agent. Set a user agent header to identify your crawler as a legitimate browser, or a well-behaved bot. Rate limiting. Be mindful of websites' rate limits. Don't make too many requests in a short period of time, or you may be blocked. Implement delays between requests. Encoding. Always decode the response data using the correct encoding, usually UTF-8. Check the content type header for the encoding. Closing connections. Always close the connection. Use the with statement for cleaner code that automatically handles closing. Don't overload the server. Be gentle on the servers you're interacting with. Avoid hammering them with excessive requests. Data validation. Validate any data you retrieve from the web to ensure it's in the expected format. Consider alternatives. For complex web scraping tasks, explore more specialized libraries like Beautiful Soup, Scrapy, and Requests. The Requests library is often preferred for its ease of use and features. 8. Advanced topics, cookies, proxies. Cookies. Urllib can handle cookies, but it's somewhat cumbersome. The http.cookiejar module is used to manage cookies. For easier cookie handling, consider using the requests library. Proxies. You can use urllib with proxies to route your requests through a different IP address. This can be useful for avoiding IP blocks or accessing content that is restricted in your region. The proxy handler object is available under the urllib.request module. Authentication. Use HTTP basic auth handler to handle basic authentication. Other more complex methods are available for more complex authentication. 9. Conclusion. The urllib library provides a fundamental way to interact with web resources in Python. While it's a built-in module and provides a basic level of functionality, for more advanced use cases like web scraping, complex API interactions, or handling cookies, consider using the requests library or a dedicated web scraping framework like Scrapy. Urllib is a good starting point to understand the underlying mechanics of HTTP requests and URL manipulation. Remember to practice responsible web interaction by respecting robots.txt, setting a user agent, and avoiding excessive requests.